Parris Island, located in the Port Royal Sound, South Carolina, is steeped in history. The story of its occupancy dates back to 1891. However, Spanish explorers who arrived in the harbor in 1520 named the area Santa Elena and claimed it for the King of Spain. In 1562, Jean Ribault, the French explorer, landed on Parris Island and, somewhere in the region, established a small outpost named Charlesfort. In 1715, the island was purchased by Alexander Parris, the treasurer of South Carolina. He, his daughter, and son-in-law were the first settlers of Parris Island. During the late 1800s and the early 1900s, the island changed hands between the Navy and the Marines several times. In 1909, the Marines opened an officers' school, and in 1911, it housed 2 recruit companies. That was short-lived. Before the year was out, the schools were transferred and Parris Island became a Navy disciplinary barracks. November 1, 1915, Marine recruit training was reestablished, and Parris Island became famous worldwide as a training base of U.S. Marines. In 1929, the water era, as it had become known, came to an end when the Horse Island Bridge and Causeway were completed. Between 1941 and 1945, almost 205,000 were trained here. During the Korean conflict, more than 138,000 Marines trained at Parris Island. The Vietnam War saw more than 10,000 recruits training at one time, and before the conflict ended, more than 200,000 Marines had graduated from Parris Island. The island also houses a drill instructor school and an NCO school. In December of 1946, the Marine Barracks Parris Island became, officially, the Marine Corps Recruit Depot Parris Island. Today, the men of Marine Corps Recruit Depot Parris Island and the Eastern Recruiting Region stand ready. We can feel the brush of our predecessors' wings, the wings of eagles.
Parris Island, South Carolina. I'd like to welcome you to Parris Island. Now, when I take it off the bus, all the males pick up all your personal articles. Everything you brought here in the bus, that means under your seat, underneath my bus, and get off the bus. Get off the bus now.
They come from far and wide, the cities, the farms, all with one single purpose, to be one of the few, one of the proud. These young men are about to enter most intensive periods of physical and mental activity that has not yet been experienced in their young lives. They will have to call upon reserves of physical and mental strength they simply never knew existed. Between the first day of training and graduation day, they will give their utmost to earn the prize title of any armed force of any country in the world today, Marine, and to wear its symbol, the eagle, globe, and anchor. These young men will have to pay the price of admission to an exclusive organization whose hallmark is one of duty, honor, and country. They will learn the Corps is not merely a job, it's a way of life. The term Marine is not a title, it's an emotion. These young men you are about to meet will graduate and become Marines through the efforts of their officers and drill instructors. They are the finest officers, staff, non-commissioned officers, and non-commissioned officers in the Marine Corps today. In the first few days, there are many things to do. Uniforms to be issued, medical, dental, and eye exams, written and physical tests, and let's not forget haircuts. There are 3 phases of training. All of them constitute a lot of learning. A Marine has to be ready for anything under any conditions. This is the circuit course. It consists of weights, push-ups, sit-ups, dips, leg raises, and most of all, a test of endurance. There's nothing like a good run to work out those kinks. A basic part of any recruit's training is water survival. This shows you the proper way to abandon ship in case of emergency, wearing a full pack and your weapon. The Bayonet Assault Course. Here, recruits attack dummy-held ground positions. Each man is his own assault force. It's one-on-one. Parry, thrust, slash, and run. Talk about calling across the ages. Our Marine ancestors created this type of assault. Again, you are in touch with your core heritage. Everyone's ready with a cheer when a buddy takes a stand with pugil sticks. First, there's plenty of instruction, then it's one platoon against another. Even though the pugil stick is only hard rubber, the combatants wear cups and helmets as they vent a little steam. Although the sticks are made for safety, it sometimes feels like a Band-Aid on a baseball bat.
Marine. Made me want to be a Marine.
Once a recruit has completed this confidence course, he is well on his way to graduation.
Get up there!
The only thing that gets you over the top of this is your belief that you can surmount any obstacle, anywhere. That's where the confidence part comes into this course. There are any number of obstacles to overcome, including the infamous rope bridge and the hair-raising slide for life, which, although isn't particularly dangerous, it can be harmful to the ego. Rapid fire. The time has come for you to take your M16 into firing position with your coach, and you remember everything you've been taught. Night fire is probably one of the more exciting training events. First, a flare is fired, and then you fire tracer bullets. They make it easy to see if you're firing correctly.
Shooters hanging in bed. Unlock and fire one round.
Once again, plenty of instruction before firing. You'll learn to take every weapon seriously and accept the fact that no matter the size, it can inflict harm. Our supervisors are always close at hand. Marines go in one way. It's a tradition that's never been broken. Take the beach. In this simulated infiltration course, quarter-pound sticks of C4 rip up the real estate around the assault units. The assault moves forward, in and out of ditches, through tunnels, over the wall and under the barbed wire. All the time more explosions jar you, and when it's over, you know you've tasted just a hint of what the real thing is all about. Conquering yourself first and neutralizing your enemy's resolve second. Careful instruction concludes in supervised hands-on training. It's just like you'd imagine. Pull the pin, release, count, overhand throw, and down. A few seconds later, you know it's for real. This is a lesson you'll never forget. This is one class to pay real close attention to. It's real important to get that mask on correctly. These recruits are being asked if they have any physical impairment that would stop them from participating today. Just as I thought, not one. Okay, let's give them an hoorah. They call it cryptically the gas chamber. Once inside, they fill the room with tear gas, but you're confident you have a gas mask, and your DI makes you put it on correctly. They release the gas, and your mask works perfectly. Then the DI yells, "Off with the masks and state your name and social security number." It can be a wrenching experience.
Open your eyes. Oh, come here, Coach. Let's go here.
Marine assault history is as varied as the topography of every foreign battleground. Sure, Marines have learned to hit the beach, but what about mountain terrain and helicopter assault landings? That's where the lively art of rappelling comes in handy. This impossibly tall 47-foot tower simulates cliff heights and helicopter landings. First, they use a rope to make a Swiss seat which locks the body in tight. The rope you use to lower yourself passes through a metal ring which allows you to make a carefully controlled and very fast descent off the helipad at the top of the tower. Any expert will tell you the rope is the key to your fall. By simply pulling it behind you, you can stop on a dime. But then again, the coach on the ground also has the other end of the rope. It's comforting to know they have complete control in stopping you. You don't even need to hold on. Final drill. Here you were tested on every aspect of drilling. Your DIs bark orders at you and you automatically respond, moving and marching without even thinking about it twice. You've learned well. And today, one platoon will win the final drill award, something to be really proud of. The flag-raising ceremony signifies the beginning of the most important day in the life of a recruit. The concept of being a recruit will soon be only a memory, but those memories are enough to sustain the spirit for a lifetime. There is no magic here. The real evolutionary process is in the young man's heart. Here a young man is merely allowed to open up his soul and let the man inside come out. And in the United States Marine Corps, the man comes out shining.
to their exact positions for the ceremony. Following the command parade rep, the parade adjutant will give the command sound off, which signals the band to parade forward to the assembled Marines and recruits while playing martial music.
Second Recruit Training Battalion, all present.
Third Recruit Training Battalion, all present. Sir, all present.
Major Gensler. A officer of the day tomorrow is Major Holler. I order of J.A.S. Jr. Major General, United States Marine Corps, commanding officers,
Ladies and gentlemen, in order to adequately provide for the spiritual and religious needs of the recruits here at Parris Island, lay readers are assigned from each platoon to assist the chaplain in conducting an effective command religious program. Carefully selected volunteers contribute to religious ministry by assisting at divine services, conducting devotions each evening in the squad bay, and providing input into the graduation prayer. Each who completes the course of instruction is presented a certificate of appreciation, a lay reader medal, and a letter of introduction to the chaplain at the next duty station. Please rise for the invocation. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this proud and glorious day. We give you praise for bringing us to this day and reuniting us with families and loved ones. Through support from our drill instructors, families, and fellow brothers, we have overcome the many hardships and challenges and achieved significant triumphs. Now, as we depart this place, we ask you to continue to guide us through the future and to provide us with the wisdom and knowledge to fulfill our duties with pride and honor. Amen. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the commanding officer of the 2nd Recruit Training Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Judge.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Major General Lynch, our commanding general, and Colonel Claybaugh, commanding officer of the Recruit Training Regiment, welcome to Parris Island. I know that many of you have come a long ways to be here today and are anxious to be reunited with your young man, so I'll keep my remarks brief. I would especially like to welcome any former or retired Marines who may be in the audience today. Welcome home. We're happy to have old comrades back amongst us. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that most of you have already had the opportunity to see your young man, and I hope you're as pleased with him as we are. As I'm sure you've noticed, he's probably lost or gained a few pounds, is in the best physical condition of his life, and his hair is just a little bit shorter than when he left home. But more importantly, I'm sure that you've also noticed that he stands a little straighter, that he walks a little taller, and has a new sense of pride and confidence that has been acquired through discipline, determination, and good old-fashioned hard work. Training men to be Marines is a very sizable task. It requires an intense training program. Training here at Parris Island has met that test for generations of Marines. It is as demanding and difficult as we can make it. And as we stand here today, I am confident that these new Marines would not have had it any other way. For we feel that a man who has proven himself here is the man who is most likely to withstand the rigors of combat. The young men standing before us this morning have met that challenge. They are the survivors. They are warriors in every sense of the word. They have earned the privilege of being called Marines. As parents and loved ones, I'm sure that you share in the sense of pride and achievement of your young Marine, as well you should. On behalf of the officers and men of the 2nd Recruit Training Battalion, thank you for sending us these fine young men. They truly were a pleasure to train. I would also like to thank the recruiters who are with us today for helping to make this moment possible. Please keep up the good work. We deeply appreciate your efforts. Last but not least, I'd like to thank the officers and drill instructors of Echo Company who supervise and train these young men. Without their dedication to duty and sacrifices, what we're witnessing here today would not be possible. Ladies and gentlemen, these exceptional men standing behind me are the finest we have in the Marine Corps. They are the heart and soul of our Corps and all that we stand for. They have remained beside your young man every day since he began his training here. Their work begins daily at about 4:30 a.m. when the lights go on in the squad bays and lasts till 8:30 p.m. when the lights go out. This goes on 7 days a week, and they remain overnight with their platoon every third night. I'm sure you can appreciate the tremendous sacrifices both they and their families have made to arrive at this proud moment. My congratulations, Echo Company, on a job well done. To their families who are seated in the audience, please accept my deep personal appreciation for the vital support you give to this very challenging assignment. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're so glad you could be here today. Welcome to our Marine Corps family. We hope you enjoy your stay here at the depot. We're very proud of Parris Island and the basic warrior training, which is going on as I speak. Please have a safe journey home. And now I have a few words for our new Marines. Marines of Echo Company, welcome to the Corps. We're glad to have you in our ranks. It is indeed my privilege to be the very first to address you as Marines. For Marines you are, and Marines you will always be. You'll recall some weeks ago when you first began your training, I told you that only those with courage and determination would arrive at this graduation today. Well, as you look about and see how your ranks have thinned, you recognize that what you were told is true. But today, you bear the title United States Marine. I hasten to remind you that this title carries with it a sizable responsibility. Starting now, you carry on your shoulders the proud tradition which has been molded through the gallant efforts of thousands of Marines who have gone before you in our 213-year history. I ask that you do nothing to tarnish this wonderful heritage. Marines, in a few minutes, you will pass in review for your final time on Parris Island. The band will play a tune you've marched to countless times before. It is appropriately entitled Semper Fidelis, Always Faithful, which, as you know, is the motto of our Marine Corps. When the music begins this time, however, you will feel the deep sense of pride that has been felt by every Marine who has gone before you. It is a feeling that is hard to describe and nearly impossible to duplicate. It was not taught in manuals, but it is the most important thing you leave here with today. It is the essence of the Marine Corps and all that we stand for. It will make your chest expand further than you ever thought possible. And as you pass before your family and friends and begin down a path that will eventually lead to duty stations throughout the world, remember to show that pride. And further, Marines, remember to always be faithful. Faithful to your God, faithful to your country, faithful to your family, and faithful to your Corps. And now, Marines, the torch passes to you. Carry it proudly. You are the future of the Marine Corps. Some of you standing here today will wear this uniform into the 21st century and establish new traditions in places whose names are yet unknown. And remember, our nation expects us as Marines to always be, as our battalion motto says, second to none. Until we meet again, good luck, Godspeed, and Semper Fidelis, Marines.
Okay. Hook. Harry. Hook. Regiment attention.
Presenting the awards today is Lieutenant Colonel Judge.
Person receiving award, promotion, and all colors. Center. March. Present arms! Hey! Left! Up! Present! Up! Down. Present! Forward!
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem.
Leatherneck and Dress Blue Uniform Award is the Honorman of Platoon 2087. And Meritorious promotion to Lance Corporal is Carl Brett. Lance Corporal Brett is from Tampa, Florida. He was recruited by Sergeant Dominguez and was trained by Senior Drill Instructor Sergeant Anderson. Receiving the Leatherneck and Dress Blue Uniform Award is the Honorman of Platoon 2080. And Meritorious promotion to Private First Class is Gordon Neal. PFC Neal is from Fort Meade, Maryland. He was recruited by Staff Sergeant Jones and was trained by Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Hughes. Receiving the Leatherneck and Dress Blue Uniform Award is the Honorman of Platoon 2081. And Meritorious promotion to Private First Class is David Jones. PFC Jones is from Marion, Ohio. He was recruited by Staff Sergeant Baker and was trained by Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Carpenter. Receiving the Leatherneck and Dress Blue Uniform Award is the Honorman of Platoon 2082. And Meritorious promotion to Private First Class is John Lestrenz. PFC Lestrenz from Grafton, Massachusetts is also receiving special recognition for superior achievement in physical excellence for the 2080 series. In the Fleet Marine Force, the highest score that a Marine can achieve on the physical fitness test is a 300. Here at the Recruit Depot, many recruits obtain this score. To determine the series' most physically fit recruits, additional points are awarded to those recruits who excel above the Marine Corps' maximum limitations. PFC Lestrenz achieved a score of 322. He was recruited by Sergeant Griffin and was trained by Senior Drill Instructor Sergeant Crosby. Receiving the Leatherneck and Dress Blue Uniform Award is the Honorman of Platoon 2083, and Meritorious promotion to Private First Class is Anthony Fama. PFC Fama is from Central City, Pennsylvania. He was recruited by Sergeant Golston and was trained by Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Gardner. Receiving the Leatherneck and Dress Blue Uniform Award is the Honorman of Platoon 2084, and Meritorious promotion to Private First Class is James Reagan. PFC Reagan is from McHenry, Mississippi. He was recruited by Sergeant Telefero and was trained by Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Crawford. Receiving the Leatherneck and Dress Blue Uniform Award is the Honorman of Platoon 2085, and Meritorious promotion to Private First Class is Pat Bonsavan. PFC Bonsavan is from Chantilly, Virginia. He was recruited by Staff Sergeant Hallman and was trained by Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Marvis. Receiving the Leatherneck and Dress Blue Uniform Award is the Honorman of Platoon 2086, and Meritorious promotion to Private First Class is Taro Arai. PFC Arai is from Middletown, New Jersey. He was recruited by Sergeant Adler and was trained by Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Hernandez. Receiving the Leatherneck Marksmanship Award for Platoon 2080 is Samuel Kowalczyk, who fired a 232 out of a possible 250 points on the rifle range. Lance Corporal Kowalczyk is from Phillipston, Massachusetts, and was trained by Primary Marksmanship Instructor Sergeant Blady. Receiving the Leatherneck Marksmanship Award for Platoon 2082 is Jason Tarwater, who fired a 237 out of a possible 250 points on the rifle range. PFC Tarwater is from Sevierville, Tennessee, and was trained by Primary Marksmanship Instructor Sergeant Fletcher. Receiving the Leatherneck Marksmanship Award for Platoon 2083 is Richard Andrews, who fired a 235 out of a possible 250 points on the rifle range. PFC Andrews is from Apopka, Florida, and was trained by Primary Marksmanship Instructor Sergeant Mulvaney. . Receiving the Leatherneck Marksmanship Award for Platoon 2086 is Douglas Mackey, who fired a 230 out of a possible 250 points on the rifle range. PFC Mackey is from Newport News, Virginia, and was trained by primary marksmanship instructor Corporal Maxey. Receiving the Leatherneck Marksmanship Award for Platoon 2087 is Bobby Hutto, who fired a 236 out of a possible 250 points on the rifle range. PFC Hutto is from Jessup, Georgia, and was trained by primary marksmanship instructor Sergeant Schweitzer. Receiving the Leatherneck Marksmanship Award for Platoon 2081 is Russell Taylor, who fired a 224 out of a possible 250 points on the rifle range. Private Taylor is from Naples, Florida, and was trained by primary marksmanship instructor Staff Sergeant Maya. Receiving the Leatherneck Marksmanship Award for Platoon 2084 is William Autry, who fired a 231 out of a 250 points on the rifle range. Private Autry is from Westwood, New Jersey, and was trained by primary marksmanship instructor Corporal Clay. Receiving the Leatherneck Marksmanship Award for Platoon 2085 is David Dahlquist, who fired a 228 out of a possible 250 points on the rifle range. Private Dahlquist is from Port Republic, New Jersey, and was trained by primary marksmanship instructor Sergeant Beatty. Receiving special recognition for superior achievement in physical excellence for the 2084 series is William Dixon. Private Dixon from Manassas, Virginia, achieved a score of 320. Ladies and gentlemen, the honor graduates of Company E. We ask that those men and women in the audience who are former Marines, please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in showing our appreciation for their dedicated service to and country. Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, revealing today's ceremony is Lieutenant Colonel Lawrence A. Maccabee.
Raise that arm.
Watch this man and review, sir.
And in review.
Gentlemen, the commanding officer of troops, Major Lynch, and his staff. 2080, Staff Sergeant Hughes. The Senior Drill Instructor of Platoon 2081, Staff Sergeant Carpenter. The Senior Drill Instructor of Platoon 2082, Sergeant Crosby. The Senior Drill Instructor of Platoon 2083, Staff Gardner. First Lieutenant Mackey and his graduating Marine. The Senior Drill Instructor of Platoon 2084, Staff Sergeant Crawford. The Senior Drill Instructor of Platoon 2085, Staff Sergeant Martis. The Senior Drill Instructor of Platoon 2086, Staff Sergeant Hernandez. The Senior Drill Instructor of Platoon 2087, Sergeant Anderson. Captain McNulty and his company of recruits. and gentlemen, the Marines most responsible for the training of the graduates are the platoon drill instructors. Prior to assignment, each drill instructor takes a pledge which reads as follows. These recruits are entrusted to my care. I will train them to the best of my ability. I will develop them into smartly disciplined, physically fit, physically trained Marines, thoroughly indoctrinated in love of corps and country. I will demand of them and demonstrate by my own example the highest standards of personal conduct, morality, and professional skill. It is my pleasure at this time to introduce to you the Marines responsible for training Company E. Please hold your applause until all the drill instructors have been introduced. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll look to your left, the senior drill instructor of Platoon 2080 is Staff Sergeant Hughes from Nashville, Tennessee. Assisting in the training of Platoon 2080 are drill instructors Sergeant Jacobs from Hershey, Michigan, Sergeant Drake from Ravenwood, West Virginia, and Sergeant Alvord from Olympia, Washington. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 2081 is Staff Sergeant Carpenter from Warren Robins, Georgia. Assisting in the training of Platoon 2081 are drill instructors Staff Sergeant Medina from Eaton, Colorado, Sergeant Fletcher from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Sergeant Pehoff from Greenville, South Carolina. The drill instructor of Platoon 2082 is Sergeant Crosby from Erie, Pennsylvania. Assisting in the training of Platoon 2082 are drill instructors Sergeant Kahlberg from Burlington, North Carolina, and Sergeant Simmons from New York, New York. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 2083 is Staff Sergeant Gardner from Kansas City, Missouri. Assisting in the training of Platoon 2083 are drill instructors Sergeant Evans from Natchitoches, Louisiana, and Sergeant DeGard from Phoenix, Arizona. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 2084 is Staff Sergeant Crawford from Cordell, Georgia. Assisting in the training of Platoon 2084 are drill instructors Staff Sergeant Stevens from Detroit, Michigan, Sergeant Kirkendall from Seaford, Delaware, and Sergeant Aviles from Brooklyn, New York. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 2085 is Staff Sergeant Martis from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Assisting in the training of Platoon 2085 are drill instructors Sergeant Newsom from Portsmouth, Virginia, and Sergeant Rivera from Corpus Christi, Texas. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 2086, Staff Sergeant Hernandez from El Salvador, Central America. Assisting in the training of Platoon 2086 are drill instructors Staff Sergeant Adams from Moultrie, Georgia, and Sergeant Neal from Columbus, Mississippi. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 2087 is Sergeant Anderson from Greensboro, North Carolina. Assisting in the training of Platoon 2087 are drill instructors Sergeant Sablatny from Springfield, Illinois, and Sergeant Mitchell from Naples, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, the drill instructors of Company E. The platoon guidons that are about to be retired have been the identification flags of each platoon throughout recruit training. To each, the guidon is a symbol of spirit, dedication, teamwork, and unit identity. Each Marine graduating today will long remember the individual and team efforts that have been expended, ensuring that their respective guidons were always carried with pride and distinction. The senior drill instructor of each platoon will return the guidon to headquarters for annual retirement.
Guys! Return the guidon!
You're reminded that refreshments will be served behind the reviewing stands immediately following the ceremony. Please rise for Anchors Away, the Marines Hymn, and the final dismissal.
Instructor, dismiss your platoon. Aye, sir! Sir, get down there you are! Get back! Aye, sir! 2082! Dismiss! Aye, sir! Platoon, 1083! Dismiss!